Hi guys, Amy here. This is going to be a video about how to do a one-to-one, why we do a one-to-one, how to invite people effectively, I suppose my top tips for doing one-to-ones, what material to use, what not to do, the benefits of the box versus signing up with a minimum order, how to explain the money bit simply, how to close a one-to-one, and basically my top tips overall on how to do an effective one-to-one meeting with your prospects. So I suppose the first thing to start off with is the fact that one-to-one should not be daunting for you, and I suppose that for all of us when we begin we get quite nervous and a bit anxious about the fact that we're going to be talking to people one-on-one about a business opportunity, and sometimes a lot of us are scared of the fact that we have to do that, or that we want to do that and we want to push ourselves out of our comfort zone to do it. The one thing which you need to remember is that you are not, I suppose, trying to convince anybody to do this business. You need to look at it in such a way that you are offering them a chance to improve their life for whatever reason, and also just to educate them and make them aware about this opportunity that you have for them. If they decide to do it, great. If they don't, it doesn't matter either, okay? So to take that bit of pressure off yourself, look at it like that instead of a way to try and convince people to do the business, because you're not there to convince anybody. You're just there to share it with as many people as you can, okay? So first of all, the one-to-one, I'm going to do some notes on the board, and hopefully it'll come out okay in the video for all of you guys to watch over and over again. And if there's something in particular that you need to cover in more detail, then just get in touch and maybe we can do a video on that as well, okay? So the first thing to suppose look at would be the function of the one-to-one and why we actually do a one-to-one, how we do it, and what our outcome should be. So the main thing, obviously, which we're aware of, is the fact that our one-to-one is to educate people about what it is that we're actually doing, okay? So I've done out some notes which I think might be able to help you guys understand why we do the one-to-one, alright? Just let me move this chair out of the way. So the function of the one-to-one is to make an invitation for your prospect to look at Forever Living and what it has to offer them, okay? So Forever Living is FLP, Forever Living Products, okay? It's an invitation to look at Forever Living Products. It's a chance to show him or her how FLP can improve their income, give them more time, give them a chance to stay at home with the kids, pay their mortgage, give them something to do from home for whatever reason it is that your prospect is looking for something to do, okay? It's to show how this opportunity may influence their life, okay? And this is a massive word, influence, okay? You are there to show your prospect how this opportunity may improve their life and what influence it can make for them. And if you are able to portray the influence that this business may have on their life, then they will be more inclined to sign up and give this business a go, okay? So you need to make it personal to them and show that it can influence their life for whatever reason. To build a relationship with your prospect. So as I said, you're not there to try and convince them. You're not there to explain to them that this is, you know, the best thing out there on the market. Yes, we do understand that this business is fantastic and it is very doable for everybody to do, but you're not there to sign them up there and then, okay? Your aim of the one-to-one is to build a relationship, build the trust, because at the end of the day, that person is not just going to buy into Forever Living Products. They're not just going to buy into the marketing plan, but it's going to be you that they buy into, okay? So use your one-to-one to build that relationship, to build that trust, and then that bond to be created between you and your prospect. And I suppose if they do then decide that this business is for them, they will want to join you and your business rather than just Forever Living, okay? It's not to sell or convince them, but rather to educate them and make them very aware of the opportunity that we have. And at the end of the day, guys, you know, the more people that get to see this business and the more people that you get to sit down with and show them the business, then it means that we're making the public aware of network marketing. We're making them aware that network marketing is a profitable, proven business model that anybody can do. And I suppose to get rid of the
whole myth that network marketing is a pyramid scheme. So even if you're just doing one-to-ones and you're not getting everybody signed up, that's okay. You're still making a massive difference to your business and the network marketing industry as a whole, because you are making people aware of the industry that's there. Okay, so it's about educating and sharing the opportunity rather than trying to convince. Okay, and that takes a bit of pressure off you straight away, because now you realize, oh, I'm just there to show them. I'm not there to sign them up, sign them up, sign them up. So that is the function of the one-to-one. So how to invite people to get to do a one-to-one with you? There's lots of different ways, okay? And as you all know, the phone call is one way in which we can get in touch with people and invite them to meet us over a cup of coffee, so that you can show them the business opportunity for whatever reason it is that you feel will, I suppose, will benefit them. So when we're talking about doing the phone call, it's very important that you do a little bit of training on this. Don't just start picking up the phone and chatting, because what happens is you'll end up going into presentation mode over the phone, when really it's not a presentation, it's an invitation, and less is more all the time. So a very good training which can help you get good at making the phone call is Andy Waring's podcast on how to make the phone your friend. Okay, it's a CD which he has kindly done for people in network marketing industry to make them aware of how to make an effective phone call and not to be afraid of the phone, which a lot of us are. So Andy Waring, the CD is called How to Make the Phone Your Friend. It looks like this, which you could get at any of the success days, okay? But even if you don't want to buy it, I've actually uploaded it onto our pinned post, and Neve and James have it on the Discoverello page as well. So everybody should be listening to this. Even if you feel like you're not going to make a phone call, just listen to Andy Waring anyway. He's absolutely phenomenal. So the phone call is one way. Face-to-face marketing, or chatting, you know, when you're in the queue with somebody, if you're in the bank or if you're at the school gate and you see one of the other mothers, you can chat to them and, hey, how are you? What are you at? Are you working? Yes. No, I'm not working. Oh, would you like to work from home around the kids? Yes, I would. Great. Would you be interested in meeting for a cup of coffee? I have something which would enable you to do that. So that's chit chat and face to face, okay? When you're talking face to face to somebody, don't go into the whole presentation mode again and try to explain to them there and then how Forever Living works, because if you do that, you'll end up pushing them away. And less is more all the time when you're inviting somebody to do the one-to-one. So the one-to-one is where you show them and explain the business. The chit-chat and the face-to-face talking is to get them to come to the one-to-one. So don't get carried away with trying to explain it to them when you're talking to them face-to-face or over the phone, okay? Facebooking, emailing, or making a video and putting it up on your profile is another very good way to get people interested in what you're doing. So on Facebook, what you need to be very, I suppose, not concerned about, but what you need to be aware of is that Facebook is, I suppose, your shop window. And what you post on Facebook will ultimately affect you and your business, because you are in business for yourself. And you need to be conscious of what you're actually posting. So I would avoid putting up anything negative. I would avoid putting up anything that would make people uncomfortable or, you know, make people cross or anything, but rather keep your Facebook profile very positive, very uplifting. You know, not so much posting about products, but rather showing people that this business is making an impact on your life, because you can go on holidays with the kids and there's the photographs of you and the children, or you're at the success day and you're having a brilliant day because the motivational speaker, or 2 of your clients did the clean 9 and have now lost 10 pounds. So that's the kind of things you should be putting on Facebook rather than trying to sell all the time. So your profile should be nice and clean and tidy. It should be positive, uplifting, and you should definitely be smiling in your photograph, okay? So remember that your Facebook profile is representing you, which is then representing your business, so be careful. What you can do with your Facebook is to constantly be reconnecting with people, getting in touch with people you haven't spoken to in a long time, creating conversation with them to build a relationship. Rather than just messaging them out of the blue to join your team, why not contact them and ask them what they're doing, how are the children, how do they get on in college, where are they living, blah blah blah, and get to know them again, let them get to know you, and then that creates the spark and you can plant the seed then with them about Forever Living, okay? You could also contact 3 to 5, maybe 10 friends a day, send them a short quick message and say, hi, how are you, haven't spoken to you in a long time, not sure if you're aware, but I've started my own business in the network marketing industry. Out of curiosity, would you be interested in looking at a business that would enable you to earn anything from 300-400 euros to 1,000 euros plus per month, and just wait and see what they come back with. If you start sending messages, please check with your upline to make sure that the message is appropriate and that you word it in such a way that it's going to be the most effective way for you to be able to get responses from people. Okay, that's what your sponsor is there for, so use them. Emailing is another way. You could email different businesses around, like fitness instructors, yoga instructors, hairdressers and whatnot. But personally, I don't think email is the best way to go, because it's like you're hiding behind the email. Whereas with Facebook, they can see your photograph, they can see your profile, they can see your timeline, they can see what you're doing. But email is a little bit more bland, so I wouldn't really be going the email route or making a video. A lot of people have done that as well. So they are the main ways in which we do it. Personally, I use an awful lot of Facebook and a lot of face-to-face contact marketing. People in my age, they don't use the phone anymore. It's all social media, whereas with people in their 30s, 40s, 50s plus, social media hasn't been the way for them to go, and they prefer using phone calls. I would also suggest that you get used to using all three methods. Don't just stick with one method. Use all three, but you will be good at possibly one or two of them rather than the other. Okay, so it's an invitation, not a presentation. If you start going into, they start asking you questions like on the phone about what is it, how much is it going to cost me, whatever. This is where Andy Warren comes in, because he will explain to you how to avoid them asking those questions first of all, and if they do ask them, what your response should be. So you should always explain that it's a visual thing, and it's very hard to explain over the phone how this business works. And if you did try and explain it, you wouldn't be doing it any justice, okay? And that's why it's important to meet face to face for that short meeting. Less is more, and use proper words and phrases when you're inviting people via Facebook, email or video. And that's what I said, to check with your sponsor, okay? 2 ways of inviting. Okay, so my top tips, and again, a lot of this is just stuff that I've learned from the likes of John Curtis and his video on the one-to-one, which you can YouTube. If you just Google John Curtis one-to-one, it will show up and you'll be able to see what he actually does. The venue is a very, very important place, okay? First of all, there needs to be little or no distraction for your prospect, because you want them to give you their full undivided attention. And if you go to their house and you start doing a one-to-one and a business presentation with them in the house, and they have children and dogs and cats and all sorts of stuff running around, and the washing machine is in the background and EastEnders is on the television, then it's going to be very hard for them to give you your full attention, which will then in the long run annoy you if you know they're only half listening to you. So doing it in a place that's nice and quiet and professional means that they can give you their overall undivided full attention, but it also means that you're getting them to step away from the house. You're treating it like a business. You're not going to their home. Why would you go to their home if you can bring them to a hotel or a nice little cafe where you can sit down one-on-one and have a conversation with each other? Okay. Your dress code is very important. Don't go to your one-to-one in a tracksuit unless you're going to the gym and you're meeting the fitness instructor. Then it might be appropriate for you to look like you're in your fitness gear, okay, because you're into sports and fitness. But personally, nice casual, not casual, sorry, nice, appropriate, tidy, clean dress sense is much more professional. Rather than going in your tracksuit. I would also suggest that if you smoke, that you don't smoke a cigarette before you go to your one-to-one, because you smell like cigarettes. I don't smoke, and it drives me absolutely demented when I'm sitting beside somebody and I can smell the smoke off them. So do not smoke before you go to a one-to-one. If you do smoke, make sure you have a chewing gum and that your breath smells nicely, and that also you have a nice scent of perfume on, but not anything over too powering, okay? The timing is very important. You need to act like you're busy. You need to do the one-to-one, but get in and out of there within 35-40 minutes. There is no need for it to be more than that. You could actually do the whole thing in 30 minutes if you wanted to. Less is more. Like I said, you're not there to explain them every single thing about Forever Living, but rather give them an overview about how the business works. You're also supposed to act like you're busy, okay? And this is something that can, I suppose, gain you a little bit of more respect with your prospect, because if you act like you have all day to sit down and have a chat, then they're going to think, well, this person must not be doing too well with this business if they can sit here all day and chit chat with me. Surely to God, they've nothing else to do if that's the case, okay? So be smart, act busy, be in a rush, in and out of there 35-40 minutes, because you have another meeting to go to, okay? You need to practice and you need to prepare, and you can practice by drawing out the money yourself. You can practice by pretending to do one on your husband or your girlfriend or your sister or your mother or whoever, and prepare yourself, okay? Prepare yourself means, you know, find out a little bit about the prospect that you're meeting. If you know them, great, because you're going to understand whether they're married and they have kids, or why it is that they should look at this business, because you'll be making it personal to them. If you do not know the person and it's a stranger, then you need to find out, what can I do in my one-to-one that will resonate with this prospect and make them more inclined to be influenced by what I have to say and what the company has to offer. So if it's a fitness instructor, where do they work? What classes do they teach? Are they promoting a product already? How many hours do they do a week? Get to know them so that you can then create a little bit of that in your conversation when you're doing your one-to-one. So how to make it attractive for your prospect, okay? You need to make it individual for every single person that you're meeting, and no one-to-one will be the same. Be calm and collective, okay? Your first few, like it might be your first 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 one-to-ones, you might be quite nervous, and that's okay. I was very nervous doing mine. But eventually, you know, the more you do, the more confident you get, and once you get your first sign up, then you understand that you're able to do this, and you get that little bit of more belief in yourself. The main thing is that you are calm when you're doing your one-to-one, regardless of if you know them or not, okay? And keep it simple, because it is a simple business and there's no need for you to overcomplicate it. You're only there to make them aware of what you have, okay? Smiling is a massive, massive thing when we're talking about this business and we're talking about life in general, okay? You're doing this business because it's supposed to be making you happy, okay? And it's creating a better life for yourself. You're excited, you're enthusiastic, you're passionate, okay? And all of those things come across when you smile. If you're doing a one-to-one and you're sitting down and you have a face like this on you and you're just explaining the business and you're quite boring and there's no energy about you, that person is not going to be interested, okay? Whereas if you go in and you hold your head up high and you're very strong about what you believe in, you're fully convinced that this is the best thing that you've ever come across, you're passionate about the company, you're passionate about the products, and you're very excited, and you are trying to get your excitement across to your prospect, because if they see what you see, then I'm sure they would be interested in starting up with Forever. When I talk about excitement and enthusiasm, I'm not saying go in there and be like, oh my God, it's the best thing ever, but rather be 20% more excited than what you would be, okay? You don't want to frighten them off by being over excited and being yap, yap, yap. Slow down, take it calm, be collective, but smile and be enthusiastic about what you're doing. Okie dokie. So they are my top tips, okay? And I suppose the next important thing is, what do we actually do and what do we use when we're doing the one-to-one? Now, thankfully, the company have put together a brand new brochure, Your Future brochure, which we can use to show our prospects the business and be quite visually and eye-catching attractive for them to actually think, oh my God, this is really cool, right? So this is the new brochure, which is available now. You can download it online, you can put it onto your iPad, you can put it onto the laptop. The laptop is something which I have been using, and also the iPad, because they weren't printed up until now. So if you have it on the iPad or the laptop, you can actually use it as a slideshow and go down through it if it lets me. But anyway, you get the gist of it. Have it up on your screen, and the next thing, you can slide through all the different slides and talk about them rather than have it in a printed form. So the iPad is really cool when you have it on the iPad. So if you do have an iPad or a tablet, then definitely download it and open it that way, okay? But this is the printed version, and this is basically the only tool which you kind of need when you're doing your one-to-one, okay? And it's been fantastically put together. It's very attractive, very professional, and it makes complete sense and keeps the whole thing simple, okay? So when I'm meeting somebody, I never say to them, oh, thanks for coming. The reason I don't say thanks for coming is because I'm not thankful they came. The way I look at it is, I'm going to be showing this person something for them. So instead of saying thanks for coming, I always say something like, I'm glad you could make it, okay? Or it's great to see you, or I'm excited to show you this today, okay? So when you use words like that, then it automatically sets the tone off on the right foot, and
then they automatically know that you're not there to try and make money off them. You're there to show them the opportunity and what is in it for them rather than what is in it for me. Okay, so thank you for sorry, not to say thank you for coming, but rather say something like, I'm glad you could make it, or it's great you could come here today. I'm excited to show you what I have on offer. Okay, so Forever Living is the name of the company, and they are an American based company, and they have been around for the last 36 years. Okay, and have been in Ireland for the last 26 years. Okay, so the reason I started Forever was because I was using their products, okay, and I got massive benefit from them. And I couldn't help but tell everybody about them and the fact that they could benefit from them too. So I didn't realise there was actually a business behind the products initially, because I had no ambition to go into selling or recommending products. I just wanted to do my holistic business and tip away with that. But what I found was my friends and my family were all interested in using the products, so I said I'd look and see if there was a business. So I did, and I was blown away by the company, the money, the marketing plan, the personal development, the positivity and the motivation, and that's how I ended up getting into it. So it was first because I used the products, I got benefit from them, became passionate about them, then I saw how I could incorporate it into my life and use it as a business so that I could make an extra bit of money. But little did I think it was going to be what it has turned out to be, which is fantastic. So tell them why you're doing it, tell them why you started, how you started, but tell them in 20 seconds. Don't tell them a big whole spiel about how, when, why. Just tell them the gist of how you got started, okay? So this is the company, Forever Living Products, and it says here that they're about making ordinary people achieve extraordinary things, and that is a little bit corny, but it is so true, okay? So this is a business for anybody to do. So if I had to ask you, if time and money were no object, what would you like to do? Okay, and just pause and wait for them to talk and smile. You're just making a light-hearted conversation. If time and money were no object, what is it that you would actually like to do with your life? And just wait and see what they say, okay? And depending on what they say, you can then aim your one-to-one around what they've just told you if money and time were no object, right? Here are some pinpointers. Lifestyle, to improve your life, improve your financial situation. Traveling, everybody wants to travel. Pensions, more time, a bit of recognition, career satisfaction, being in business for yourself, being your own boss, quitting the 9-to-5 job, all those sort of things. Health, wellness, personal development, which is massive, okay? So here is what you're trying to figure out if that person has any dreams, hopes and ambitions, and you can aim your one-to-one around what it is that they tell you on this page. So this is Rex Maughan, and Rex is the founder of the company. And Rex started the company 36 years ago in Arizona, and in the last 36 years he's built it up since then and has now branched into over 155 countries, okay? And each year they're breaking into new countries, and Forever Living have the ambition to be in every single country within the world. So they're based in 155 countries now. They're cash rich and debt free, and that is really important because that means that they own everything from start to finish. They're a fully integrated company. They control everything from the moment the seeds are planted into the plantations, that they're hand picked, they're put into the containers, they're stored in the warehouses, they're transported, and then they're delivered to us. They own everything. They don't rely on any other company to source an ingredient. They only rely on their own single process, which is everything from start to finish, okay? Cash rich and debt free, that is really important for ordinary people like me and you, because if we build this business, and when we build this business, we will never get a phone call from the bank or the head office to say Forever Living has gone into liquidation. It won't happen. They don't borrow any money from any banks. They're completely sustainable, and that is just phenomenal. There is like hardly any company in the world that's cash rich and debt free, okay? So very, very secure. Debt-free, more than 1.5 billion in assets. Again, they put some of their profits into buildings and again use that as security and I suppose to make it that little bit more profitable for the business. Worldwide turnover in excess of 2.6 billion, which is huge. Ongoing global expansion plans, which means they are constantly trying to bring out new products. They're keeping up with the trend. They're keeping up with the marketplace, which is good for us because there's always going to be new things coming out. And they're members of the DSAI, okay, and the DSAI is the Direct Sales Association of Ireland, and they are a governing body which control all network marketing industries, and they keep an eye on the likes of Forever Living, Herbalife, Body by V, Avon, all those companies, and they check them every year, they vet them every year to make sure they're above board and they're treating us, the distributors, correctly, okay, so they're there for us. So this is our company head office in Ireland, and this is a beautiful head office up in Antrim, and this is where they store all the products, as well as their customer service team, which are there to help us with any situations that we need help with, okay. They've been here since 1978, they've been here since 1992, but founded in 1978, like I said, and they have a turnover of over 15 million in Ireland alone, which is growing month on month in since they've started, okay. The head office here in Ireland is the only head office, I suppose Forever Living are the only network marketing company that actually have a head office in Ireland, which is really important, again, just to prove their security and the fact that they're here forever, they're not going anywhere anytime soon, okay. So for us, this is really important as distributors, because it means that we don't have to keep huge amounts of stock. The stock is all up here. So when we need to order, we just order as we're going along, which means we don't have to make any investment in keeping a lot of stock in the bedroom and keeping it there and hoping we sell it. So no stock is needed to be kept, because they have it. They have the customer service team, very quick turnover with deliveries within 48, 70 hours. And they've actually gotten so busy, they've now opened a second warehouse in Dublin. So it just proves again that they're here long term, they're not going anywhere, and that they are, I suppose, the best network marketing company within Ireland at the minute. So the company sales history, self-explanatory, okay. This proves that the company has grown year on year in since they started in 1978. So just turning under 3 billion in 2013, okay. I'm sure that's going to go up to over 3 billion very soon. But the most interesting section is here, okay. So you can see this year, I suppose that's 1985 to 94 was during the last recession, okay. And you can see that's when they had their biggest growth spurt. And this is really interesting to tell people, because during this time, that's when the company had its biggest growth, which meant that more people were looking at Forever Living as a business because they were out of work. They needed to create an income in the house. They needed to do something to pay the bills. So the same thing is happening now. They're having massive growth spurt here within Europe, especially in Ireland, because of the recession, because people need to look at ways to make an extra money, make an extra income. But secondly, not only is it a good time to get into it because of the recession, the other reason is because more and more people are looking for popular natural products. They want to keep fit, they want to be healthy, they want to look good. Everybody is in the gym, everybody wants to use supplements, everybody wants to use natural products. So you kind of killing two birds with one stone there if you think of it like that, okay? So 3 reasons why we've and Forever Living have enjoyed continuous growth over the last 35-36 years. First of all, they have an outstanding product range, and they have over 150 products which fall into different categories, okay. They have a rapidly growing marketplace, and it's a proven and exceptional business model. So their aloe vera, I suppose the main thing that makes this company so special is the quality of their aloe vera, okay. So why Forever Living? Why not the normal aloe vera that you can go and get in the health shop? There's lots of reasons why, okay. The main reason why is the fact that Forever Living are using only this sticky clear gel in the middle of the plant, and this is the only nutritional part of the aloe vera plant. It's the most important part of the plant, okay, and this is all that they use. This is the #1 ingredient in all of their products, and they start off with this, so there's 100% of this in all of their products, as well as whatever else they have to add into it. So other companies don't use this part of the plant. They use the bit of the leaf, the bit of the rind, the bit of the root, the bit of the sap. They don't use this bit, okay? So they claim to have 100% aloe vera, and they possibly do have aloe vera in it, but it's the crap part of the plant. This is the Rolls Royce version of aloe vera and nutritional supplements, and it's the best aloe vera in the world. They're the most successful aloe vera company. They're the largest aloe vera company. They're also the largest beekeepers in the world, which is really important. And as you know from their products, they use pollen pollen and propolis and honey. Okay, so some of the benefits of aloe vera: it's a health drink, it helps with the immune system, fantastic for overall digestive systems, very good for skin, hair, nails. Literally, aloe vera can be used for anything. Okay, and then these are some of the seals of approval. They have a 60-day money back guarantee. It can be used by all different religions in the world, and they don't test in animals, which is really important. Okay. So why, again, Forever Living, and I just told you, is the fact that they use that sticky jelly bit in the middle, whereas other companies use the not so good parts of the plant. They don't use any chemical fertilizers or pesticides in their plantations. They hand pick all the leaves. They have a special stabilization process, which means that the aloe vera that we use in the products is the closest thing that you can actually get to the aloe vera plant. Okay, everything is completely of the highest quality that you could possibly imagine. And they have the advisory board, which again stand over all of the products, because we're not nurses and we're not doctors, so they're there to do all the hard work for us. Okay, Peter Atherton, he's the doctor. He took 2 years out of his own practice to study aloe vera, and he wrote a book about it. He's actually wrote several books about it. Doran Parker is the nutritionist and the beautician, and does lots of training on supplements and diet and weight loss, weight management. And then Dr. Peter Urch is the vet, and again uses the aloe vera products in his own practice, and is currently actually undergoing some clinical trials with horses, and how the aloe vera is fantastic for ulcers in their stomach. Okay, then this is just a little bit about their products and the categories that they fall into. And a lot of the time when I show this to people, they say, oh, I recognize that bottle of gel. My mother used to drink it, or my aunt used to drink it, and that's great, because this is our #1 signature product. This is the product which the company started off with 35 years ago, and last year they actually sold 31 million bottles of this alone. Not to mind the one that tastes nice. Okay, so 31 million bottles of that all over the world last year, which is phenomenal. So 100% inner leaf in the gel. This is the closest thing to the plant that you can actually get. A lot of people don't realise that we can use aloe vera as a drink or a health tonic, but we can, and this is just phenomenal about the amount of things that it can do. So the products fall into different categories. They have the health drinks, which is these, and 3 or 4 other ones. They have personal care products, skin care products, supplements, sports, weight management and mobility, animal care, cosmetics and beauty. Okay. Now, a lot of people are only interested in some of these. There is, like I said, over 150 products, but there's mainly 20 popular ones, which are definitely kind of the ones which people will most likely use and sell themselves. Okie dokie, so it's that page. So, how do we distribute the products, and how does the business actually work? How do we make the money, and why do they choose network marketing? There's lots of different reasons why Forever Living choose network marketing. Okay, network marketing is, I suppose, a different method of doing business. You have your traditional business model and you have your network marketing business model. So traditional business would be the likes of your Coca-Cola, your Tato's, your bread, your tea bags. All of them go through several different stages before they actually get to the consumer. Whereas with network marketing, what happens is there's only 3 stages involved. So the company grow, manufacture, produce all their own products. It comes to me or you, the distributor, and then it goes on to the consumer. Okay, much more cost effective, much more profitable, because it means that we're doing the advertising, we're the ones talking to the customers about the products, we're selling it, and then for us, the distributors in the middle of the chain, we make the profit that all the other people would have made in the normal methods of marketing. Okay, so I often draw it out for people. So traditional business would have several different stages involved. So there's they grow the product, or they produce the product, they store it in a warehouse, then it goes to the wholesaler, then it goes to advertising, then it goes to the consumer, okay, the customer. Loads of other stages, but that's kind of the gist of it. Okay, there's 7 or 8 different stages, and they pay the likes of Ronaldo and them and David Beckham to go on TV and talk about something that they're not using. Whereas with network marketing and Forever Living, we don't do any of that, because we don't need David Beckham, we don't need Ronaldo to go on television. Okay, that's the traditional business, and then we have network marketing. And network marketing only has 3 stages. So we have Forever Living products, we have us, the distributors, and then the consumer. Okay, 3-step process, much more effective. We make the money, 35 to 48%, We're the ones that do the advertising because it's all word of mouth, and it means that more products get sold, it's more cost effective, and it means that ordinary people like us can actually tap into that business and be a part of it. Okay, so lots of different reasons why we choose network marketing over traditional business. This shows you other reasons why. Okay, in your shop you have massive investments, you have to buy stock, you're paying staff, you have long hours, you've no support, and it's extremely expensive and time consuming to run your own business traditionally. Okay, whereas with network marketing, I prefer network marketing over team marketing because it sounds a bit more professional. You have low investment, if any investment, no stock to keep, no staff to pay, no wages, no rates, no crazy fees and stuff that come with your normal traditional business. It's flexible and part-time, you're your own boss, you do what you want when you want, you have full support and training and massive recognition and personal care. Okay, so that is why we choose network marketing over traditional business model. Okay, often people might ask at this stage, oh, is that one of those pyramid things, or is that one of those American sales thing tiered companies? If somebody says that to you, do not get defensive. Chances are they have not a clue what a pyramid scheme is, and they're just very skeptical. I personally was very skeptical about this, so what you need to say when somebody says that is go, oh, that's interesting, why do you assume it's a pyramid scheme? Wait and listen to see what they say. Okay, and the one thing that you could respond is, oh, you know what, I felt the same, I understand how you feel, I felt the same, but what I found out when I did my research was that pyramid schemes are illegal. You have to invest huge amounts of money in them, there's no product or service, and there's only a few people at the top that make money. Whereas with network marketing, thankfully, it's not illegal, and like Forever Living have been in Ireland for 25, 26 years. They're in 158 countries, which means they're government vetted by 158 countries. They're members of the Direct Sales Association, again, which proves that everything they're doing is above board, it's completely safe and secure. There's very little investment with this. You do have stock, and there's equal opportunity for everybody. Okay, so never get defensive. Just try and figure out why they're actually asking that question first of all, and then say, feel, felt, found. I understand how you feel. I felt the same, but what I found out was blah, blah, blah. Okay, so feel, felt, found. You're coming right back down to their level. You're not getting defensive. You're just making them aware of what network marketing is versus pyramid schemes. Okay, so once I've explained to them about network marketing and why we choose network marketing as our business, then I explain to them the money. Okay, and the money is an extremely simple thing to explain if you keep it simple and if you practice yourself beforehand. So now I've told you about the company, now I've told you how the business works and why we choose network marketing. Now I'm going to show you how the money is made, because that's the most important bit. Okay, so in Forever Living there are two sides to the business. Okay, the first side is where we retail or distribute the products, if you want to call it that. Okay, so that is where we as distributors have access to purchasing the products at a 30% discounted price. Okay, so we distributors order them 30% discounted and we sell them for full price, so we make 30% profit straight away. Okay, but on top of this, the 30% is actually the minimum. So on top of this we have a bonus which ranges from 5 to 18%. Okay, so initially when you start off and you become a distributor, you are on 30% discount plus a 5% bonus. So you are actually making 35% on all the products that you sell. Okay, so if I helped you to find 20 customers spending €50 each, that's actually €1,000 worth of products that you've sold, or €1,000 turnover. You're making 35% of that, which is €350 straight away. So that is a nice little part-time income, isn't it? And they say yes. So once they see that 35% is the starting point, or kind of the minimum, then I explain 35 is actually the minimum, kind of, you can move up to 18. So at that level, 30 plus 18 is actually 48%. So again, you have your 20 customers spending €50, or 30 customers spending €30, or in around that, and you've done your €1,000 again. Okay, there should be a comma there. At that level, that's €480. cotton for you, okay? So 350 to 400 euros per month, just retailing the products. So that's a nice little income for people to do part-time from home around their current jobs. So this is easy. Sorry, I have a little bit of a frog in my throat, so excuse me if I start coughing. So 35 to 48% retailing the products, very simple, no targets, no commitments, you do what you want, when you want, the more you do, the more money you make, simple. Okay, but there's a second side to this business, and the second side is I suppose it's the more serious side, and the networking side, okay? Business or networking side. And this is what people do if they don't want to just make 200 or 300, 400 euros a month. They want to make 7, 8, 900, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, whatever, okay? So this is the more serious side of the business, right? And this is where we just show the business to other people. We get them started, we help set them up, we coach and mentor them to do the very same thing, okay? So I'm sure you know 2 people who could do with an extra income, or who are into sports and fitness, or would like to stay at home and work around the kids, and they always say, oh yeah, of course, definitely, great, okay, you know 2 people. So say we set up those 2 people for you, we show them the business, we get them started, we teach them about the products, and we help them to get some customers, okay? And say they then go on and they show 2 people, and they show 2 people, and so on, okay? So we could keep going on, okay? So at that level, if everybody just showed 2 people, you would actually have 30 people in your team, okay? But we won't use 30, because we'll just say 10 of them decided they didn't want to do it, okay? So you have 20 people in your team, 20 people, and say all of those people were turning over their 1,000 euros, so they all had their customers, and they turned over their own 1,000 euros, okay? 20 people in your team, all doing 1,000 euros. That is actually 20,000 turnover in your team per month, okay? Now, you were still only doing your own 1,000. You still only found your 2, 3, 4 people. Now, it could be 4, it could be 5, it could be 6, but we're just using 2 because it's easy and it's simple, okay? So if you have 20 people in your team, or 30 people, or 40, or 50, and they were all doing their 1,000 euros, you could potentially have 20,000 turnover, maybe even more. But this is doable, so I'm using this figure, okay? You're making a bonus on that turnover of 20 grand. So that ranges between 1,600 and 2,000 euro bonus per month for you, okay? So the company recognised that this 20 grand turnover wouldn't have happened if you didn't share the business with these first 2 people and show them how to do the same. So they have all of this on record. It all gets linked back to you through their online system. So they recognise this has started because of you, so they pay you for helping them to develop business, okay? They pay you for coaching Mary and Tom, because they're not going to come over from Arizona and coach Mary and Tom. That's what we're here for, but we get paid for helping them, okay? So can you see how if you develop a few people to take this business on, that you could be earning 1,500, 1,600, 2,000 euros per month? And then they always say, yeah, God, that looks great. So can you see now how it's possible for you to stay at home with the kids? Or how would an extra 2,000 euros coming into your gym be? How could that help your gym and your turnover every month? How can you see how this can help you stay at home with the kids? Can you see how this can help you stay paying the mortgage? Whatever reason they've told you that they want to look at this business for, that's how you aim this back at them. Okay, so very easy, and a lot of the time they might ask you, where is this coming from? This 8 to 10%, where is that coming from? This is coming from the marketing plan. So if you've studied the marketing plan, you understand there's different levels. You have your 5%, your 8%, your 13%, your 18%. The 8 to 10% is what you make off each of the people in your team. So at this level, if you have 20,000 turnover between you and your team, then you're going to be at the manager level, which is an 18% bonus. The difference is what you make off everybody in your team, which is going to be between 3 and 13% or 8 to 10%, depending on what it is. But it's 8 to 10% is the figure you should be using here, okay? So 1,600 to 2,000 euros per month, extremely doable and extremely beneficial to people every month coming into the house, okay? So can you see how this amount of income coming into the house can help you and your family for X, Y, and Z, okay? So it's not money for nothing, okay? It does require work and require a bit of training. If you just want to retail the products, then there's very little training in that. You can tip away and do that on your own. If you want to do this side, then it does take a little bit more work, because obviously it's not money for nothing. It's not a get rich overnight scheme, okay? So there's actually a couple of different ways to get started, okay? This is where the Fast Start Pack comes in. So the company have put together essentially two different ways for us to actually start up the business, okay? The first way and the most cost effective way is to start up with the business starter box, okay? And that is this box, and this contains everything you need to start off your business on the right foot, okay? So first of all, the benefit of buying this box, it means that you're getting everything that you need to start. You have products for you to actually use yourself, because you're not going to want to start recommending something to other people that you're not using. It also means that you have a second product that you can sell on